Okay, now that we have seen the macro recorder record macros for us and place those macros into modules, I'm going to explain and kind of change the terminology up a bit. That way we can understand the difference between a procedure and a function. With the VBA recorder, anytime you record a macro, you're pretty much creating what's called a procedure. A procedure is just a set of instructions that is executed and it doesn't return any kind of value back to the user. And the way we can identify a procedure versus a function is the way the code is written. In this case, we see this one as labeled as a sub type letters in column C. In the previous macro, just macro 1, it's sub macro 1. Then at the end it says end sub. And then of course fill column D, it's sub fill column D, and it says end sub. A function is written differently. Anytime it starts with a sub and it says end sub, that's specific to a procedure. A function, however, returns a value to a user and is written like this. We can do function get user age, just as an example, and then we can just put as integer. So we can see function and function. This says get user age. And what this is going to do is going to return a value to the user. So what we can do is write it out like this. Get user age is equal to 0. We can do an input box. How old are you? And then the next thing that we're going to do is just write get user age is equal to the input. And now what I can do, and I know this is a little bit more complex, and we're going to discuss functions further on and how to create a function. This I'm doing rather quickly just to show you what a function does. If I was to create a user form, and I'm just going to draw a command button. I'm going to double click that. I'm going to put message box get user age, and I'm going to hit the play button to run this code, and click the command button. And the command button is calling the function. The function in this case was just bringing out this input box that says how old are you. So I'm going to go on and put 28 and go on and select enter. As I do that, we now get that message box saying 28. So all we did right here is we called the function. The function ran a set of code. In this case, the set of code was just displaying the input box, how old are you? And then we get that information and we send it back to the original request. In this case, that was the command button saying get user age. So that's just a real quick small example of a function. The main purpose of this video is just to show that we can work with functions or procedures. Procedures are started with a sub, and functions are started with, of course, function. In the next video, I'm going to show how we can create a sub procedure manually and how you can call that procedure from another macro or a user form.